Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This is part 2 of wisdom of the Qur'an from Surah Al-Fatiha. Allah says in verse 4, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. You alone we worship and you alone we seek for help. So then Allah is creating a relationship between His servants and Himself. And the relationship is that Allah is ma'bud, meaning who is worthy of being worshipped. And we are the servants of Allah. We are the worshippers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So now Allah is saying, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ. You alone we worship. So in terms of worship, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teaches us in this verse that no one deserves to be worshipped except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah has sent all the prophets and messengers on earth with only one message. What is that? أَنِعْبُدُ اللَّهَ وَاجْتَنِبُوا الطَّاغُوتَ. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is building a relationship between Himself and His servants. Allah says, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ. You alone we worship. Here, as Allah says in Surah Al-Jariyah, verse 56, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I have not created jinns and mankind without worshipping me. So the purpose of creation is worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teaches us in the first opening verse. Someone who opens it, wants guidance from the Qur'an, they will know the purpose of their creation. The purpose of the creation and the relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah teaches us, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ and وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. And verily we seek for help from you as we worship you. So what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has to do for us? Allah is the one who providing us with help, support and with rizq and everything. Now you have to rely on Allah. And if you rely on Allah, Allah says in Surah Talaq, وَمَن يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. Whoever relies on Allah, Allah is sufficient for him. So for any kind of difficulties, for any calamities, for any problem, any issue, we have to go to Allah to ask for guidance, to ask for help. This is what Allah teaches us in this verse. And in the next verse, Allah says, إِهْدِنَا الصِّرَاطَ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ. Guide us along the straight path. This is what Allah again teaches us, that we need to ask Allah for guidance. Guidance or hidayah is something that we need to ask for, seek for. Allah guides someone who seeks for guidance, who is actually crying for guidance, who is begging for guidance. Allah doesn't guide someone who is not interested in being guided, although the guidance is in Allah's hand. Allah says about guidance that لا تهدي من أحببت إن الله يهدي من يشاء. You cannot guide someone whom you love. Only Allah guides the one whom Allah wants to. So guidance or hidayah is completely in Allah's hands. However, as the servants, we have to seek for it from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why every single time we have to ask Allah for guidance. And guidance is something that every single moment we need in every respect of our lives. Guidance is the ultimate guidance will be before your death, the moment you're going to die. And if you die on guidance, on hidayah, you are successful. That's why you have to seek for every single moment, because إِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ لَكُمْ عَدُوٌ فَاتَّخِذُوهُ عَدُوًّا. Allah says in Surah Faatiha that shaitan is your enemy. So take him as an enemy. Every time he tries to deviate you from the right path. So to not get deviated, you need to ask Allah for guidance, ask Allah for help, and Allah will come forward with His guidance to you. This is what Allah teaches us, that we seek for guidance every single moment. And the next verse, what is the guidance for? إِهْدِنَا الصِّرَاطَ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ. To the straight path. Straight path. The path of Islam is very straight. So other paths are actually a path of deviation that will deviate you, lead you to destruction. غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ. And again Allah emphasizes on the last verse, غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ, except the path of those who have been caused. As Allah says that the people of Ad, the people of Thamud, on whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent all ghadab. أَلَمْ تَرَ كَيْفَ فَعَلَ رَبُّكَ بِعَادٍ. Do you not see how your Lord dealt with the people of Ad? إِرَمَ ذَاتِ الْإِعْمَادِ. And you can see the Iran people in the Iran cities. They built lofty buildings. الَّذِي لَمْ يُخْلَقْ مِثْلُهَا فِي الْبِلَادِ. Of which you cannot see any parable, any compare on earth. The buildings they made, they built. وَثَمُودَ الَّذِينَ جَابُوا الصَّخْرَ بِالْوَادِ. And the people of Thamud, they would build houses inside the mountains without breaking the mountains. They would carve inside them. They were so artistic people. Their architectural knowledge and skills were so sophisticated that they would build houses like this. ثَمُودَ الَّذِينَ جَابُوا الصَّخْرَ بِالْوَادِ وَفِرْعَوْنَ ذِي الْأَوْتَادِ. And the people of Pharaoh, what the people of Pharaoh did, the people of Pharaoh would fix the people on the cross and they would kill the people by nailing them. الَّذِينَ طَغَوْا فِي الْبِلَادِ فَأَكْثَرُوا فِيهَا الْفَسَادَ. As they spread transgressions on earth, Allah sent ghadab, punishment over them. This is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made these people maghdub, meanings cursed. They were punished people, perished people. So Allah, we need to seek for Allah's guidance to not get into these type of people, to not follow in the footsteps of these type of people. وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ. And not of those people who are deviated. Like I said, people who are deviated, even people being in Islam, in the fold of Islam, they might be deviated if they are not on the path of Allah and the path of His Messenger. I hope inshallah these are the wisdom that we can get from this surah. Inshallah we'll start our journey understanding Quran through understanding this surah. What I would ask you, press the button, notification bell, and also subscribe so that you get notified every time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.